Yes, teach. Let's humble ourselves for a prayer. In the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, Lord Father, I pray for this lesson which we are going to begin. Let you guide us. Let whatever the teacher will teach, let us learn and understand it. And even when they come in exams, we answer and pass. Lord Father, I pray for our nation, Uganda. Protect us against this pandemic of COVID-19 and protect. I also pray for my parents, my teachers, and everyone. Lord Father, protect all of us. Lord Father, I prayed through the name of Christ our Savior. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for that rich prayer, and may the good Lord bless you as well.
Amen.
Okay, so all right. I wanted to start from the president's address yesterday. It means that as students, we are not certain of the future of our academia. Next year has not, yes, he said January next year, but we are not sure of the date. So let us use this program. This program is helping us so much. There are so many schools, very big schools, that are not even operating. Students are just lousing in the villages. There are so many girls who are getting pregnant. There are so many boys who are losing hope. Even us among the teachers, there are so many teachers who are throwing in the towel. So let us use this opportunity. Let us avoid these funny incidences of feeling like the school's about to open so you can misbehave and go back to your school. For now, this is your school, and therefore we shall respect the promoters of this program and pray for them. That is Edify School, Christian School Association. We need to pray for these people and thank God for them. So that is my piece of advice this morning for you, that let us be grateful and inform your friends who are not even part of this program. The program is free. Let them come and join. Otherwise, staying at home for another whole year or up to the end of the year is not very good for us who are students. I see today the numbers are inflating. We're already in 70, which is very good. So I pray that you inform your friends. Don't leave them out of this program. You can never know. This can help us in promotion, you know, because now you remember there is another senior one that is warming to join, and you're also a very fresh senior one, which has not even done, I think, a second term and completed. So us here, we are helping you to go through this so that in case anything happens, because the rumor is that you might be automatically promoted. As that rumor is going around, how prepared are you for the next class? So that is my advice for us students. Let us utilize the classes that we have been given by Edify and all its partners. Otherwise, back to our class. If you can remind me of what we looked at last week, it would help me so much to connect us to today. By show of hands, just remind me, Brenda. Brenda.
Sir, I'm new here. I just had a question. Like, I'm in Form 3, but I'm attending a Form 2 class because I tried attending them. Yeah?
This is actually a Form 1.
Yes, like, I wanted to ask, like, what happened to the Form 3 classes? I'm trying to attend Form 3, but I end up joining a Form 5 lesson.
Then it is not, it is you who logged into maybe a wrong class, because each class has its code. I want you to Google Christian Schools Association. Under that, they'll give you all codes for all classes and Google Classrooms, or all WhatsApp groups and all Google Classrooms. Just go and Google Christian Schools Association. They will give you the one for Uganda, the very first one, which has Uganda. It will take you to where you want to be.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, you can log out, because I know you will disturb us. You will not understand these things. Yes, Diana, Faith. Yes, Diana.
Yes, teacher.
Good morning,
Teacher.
Diana.
Morning.
Yes.
We talked about digestion.
We talked about digestion. What did we say was the most important part in the body? Where the most important activity happens, and what is that activity?
It was absorption of food.
Where does it happen?
It happens in the small intestines.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much. Where does, okay, next question to another person. Where does digestion start from? Immaculate. Immaculate, Mary Angela. There are so many people in that class at once. Okay, Faith says it starts from the mouth. That is true. Chirabo also shares the same idea. That is very true. So it means we are aware of these things. So that is how far we have come. And today we also want to look at something different. Okay, where does it end? Maybe let me say, and how long does food take in the stomach when it's being turned? Christine Namatov.
Yeah, 1 hour.
Are you sure? Now, what kind of food is that? Water?
Yeah,
Namatov,
sweet
read again.
potatoes.
That's a nice one. You've made my morning after 7 annoying me. Okay, let me go to another person. Not 1 hour, any other person? Jonathan, Ruth, Namakura, yes. How long does food take in the stomach? What was the estimated time? Chiabo? Okay, George says 6 hours. The estimate is between 2 to 6 hours. All right, thank you so much. So today, it ends in the idiom. Okay, we remember saying it ends in the anus. Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, teacher.
You're excused.
I was going to answer that the food in the stomach takes to 2 to 5 hours.
2 to 6 actually hours, which is okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Depending on the food you've eaten, if it's the sweet potatoes, it will not be processed at the same rate with maybe Irish potatoes or later on rice. So different foods are processed at different rates and the body absorbs them. Okay, so we today want to look at something different, and that's why I'm here today. Some of these, I hope you remember that we have parts of speech, and while at school, I'm very sure your teachers must have already hinted on the element of parts of speech. For example, the nouns. When you're handling family, I am sure you looked at some of those nouns. What other parts of speech did you handle apart from nouns? Which other parts of speech have you handled in secondary, strictly, not your primary? Chimera?
Verbs. Verbs.
You also looked at verbs, that is true. Any other? So even today, I am bringing on another. So let us wait and see what that is, and then we continue with our lesson. Thank you so much. I like, pronouns. If you looked at nouns, definitely you must have looked at pronouns. And today we want to be able to remind ourselves what some of those are. But now we want to apply them. That is the most important thing for me, application of some of these words. So let us see what I have for us today here. You let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. If you can see my screen, you let me know. Chimera, can you see my screen? Adikini rather?
Yes, I can.
Okay, what are you seeing there? Okay, today
Edify e-learning project. Every
okay.
child deserves to learn and flourish. Edify Uganda Schools Owners Association.
Okay, so that is a very good statement. Today, I've been bypassing these things, not intentionally, but I deserve once in a while to talk about them, that every child deserves to flourish, and Edify is making this possible. Christian Schools Owners Association is also there making this possible. These are partners who are enabling this program to be ICT Teachers Association. So all these are making this possible for you. So when you're praying, please add them in your prayer list. They are the reason we are studying, and we hope for the best while we handle this lesson. So students, I said today I'll be adding yet another part of speech, and we will look at it today. So today we are looking at the use of for and since under parts of speech. These fall under what we call prepositions. These fall under prepositions. Who can be able to tell me what a preposition is? Who can be able to tell me what a preposition is? Just one person. Dalton Daniels. Yes, Dalton. Okay, it seems Angela and Lillian, one of you. Angela and Lillian, one of you. Cortez. Sorry, Cortez muted the accidental. Yes, Cortez.
Prepositions are words that link link
Talk about
nouns
their
to
position.
verbs. Yes.
Okay, they talk about just their position.
The position.
Yes, the position of a preposition in a sentence.
Teacher. Oh.
Okay. As you look for that answer, I will take the fact that you are saying that it links. It links. You said, did you say it links a verb to a noun?
Yeah. Yes.
How can you give an example? You are not sure? Do research. Okay, let me pick on another person. Thank you so much for trying. Ruth Namakura.
Preposition is a word or group of words that is used before a noun. Pronoun, so as to show direction, time, place, location. Yes, that's
Okay.
how I can define.
In fact, you have given us all we want to hear for today. So particularly these ones, we shall pick on time. We shall pick on time. So I know you have met some of these things, the use of for and since, and for those who have met them anywhere, if you have any knowledge that you can give us on the use of for and since. Today we shall not discuss in groups. Today we shall discuss as a class. Yes, then the next activity, just to warm you up, at the end of this topic, we are still under the topic of food. That's what you should remember. We are still under the topic of food. At the end of the topic, I have 2 more lessons. We shall do an activity of integration. I would expect you to be prepared for it. So for us, that's how this is going to be organized. So I want us to remember when we're cooking our food, some of these words were appearing when I was telling you to describe. When I was telling you to describe the period of time or the process of preparing your food? Who can at least remind us a statement or two that he or she used that contains the word for, especially during that time for preparing our food? I will bring those examples. Then any other example outside it. Prudy? Yes, Prudy? Kaima Elizabeth?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, what are some of those? I remember when I was starting to describe the process of preparing food, some of you were using some of these words to estimate time. Can you be
Teacher,
able
I
to give
wasn't
me?
present.
Okay, now why is your hand up?
Forgot. I just
Okay,
forgot to.
okay, fine. I've lowered it for you. Keep it low until maybe you are picked on. Yes, Prudy, your hand is up and your microphone is also unmuted, so you can tell us. Harris?
Morning, teacher.
Good morning to you.
Should I use since or for?
Use for, then since later.
Okay. I've cooked food for 3 hours.
I have cooked food for three hours. Then since?
I've cooked food since 8 o'clock.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
You sure? It's a try. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate. This is not very new to us. Okay, let me take Chimera before maybe I'll take Chimera has been dominant. Let me take Natasha.
Mommy cooked food for 3 hours.
Mommy cooked food for 3 hours.
I have been cooking food since morning.
I have been cooking food since morning. That is very okay. We shall be making a difference very soon under my guidance. I will take those sentences. We used most of these sentences last time. So let us pull out those sentences from our notes or from wherever, and then we share those. Yes. Carlos, your hand is up and your microphone is unmuted. Okay, it seems his network is a problem. Amanya.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning to you. How are
you? I wanted to say in the examples.
Yes, we are waiting. Okay, it seems her network is a problem. Joy Janet.
Like I cooked food for 2 hours.
Cooked.
Ate food.
I have been cooking food for 2 hours.
Now, okay, thank you.
Since 2 p.m. I have been cooking since 2 p.m.
Since 2 p.m. Now, I want us to know in mentioning those, I will be giving you a guide. Then we now make those statements according to this. So most of us were using these statements in a scattered way. So today, by definition, for is a preposition, and prepositions are parts of speech. We have about 7 of them, and we shall be covering them at least 1 or 2 or under each of these topics. You'll find that under a subtopic, maybe you're given a possibility to handle one. So it is a preposition used to talk about an amount of time, or space. However, the amount of time usually is not exact or clearly stated. For example, when someone says, I am here for the weekend, he has lived with us for ages. He has lived with us for a long time. We have been at home for a very long time. So now here we should talk time. Rather, the time we are talking about is unspecified. For example, for ages, you cannot define it. For a long time cannot be defined. It's just a period of time, but undefined. So today I wanted us to be able to correct the use of for and since. For the weekend is unspecified. If someone comes for the weekend, they have not told us, is he spending the whole weekend? Is he spending a half a weekend? Is he spending a day? Those are the things we are talking about. Yes, someone is sharing here and saying that since is used for a specific period of time. However, I can still hear people are giving me even for with a specific period of time. So that's why I'm here to correct, because while listening to your presentations, I noticed we were confusing the use of for and since. So I am going to make it clear today here, and then we now make different statements. We formulate different sentences with now the knowledge. So I am giving you a guide, and then later on, we now go and construct as many sentences as possible. So I repeat, a preposition, the preposition for is used to talk about an amount of time or space. The amount of time is usually not exact or clearly stated. For example, for the weekend, for ages, for a long time. Before I leave that, I also want to comment and say, we can also use for with all tenses. You know, we have 3 tenses. We have the present tense, we have the past tense, and we have the future tense. So you can use for in the present tense. You can use for in the past tense and in the future tense. So now our task will be giving us the unspecified period of time using for in the present, in the past, and in the future. That's what we shall discuss before we go to the preposition since. Since is the total opposite of for. So let us look at some of the examples I have here. I am here for the weekend. Unspecified. Someone has not told you when they will leave. Will they leave on, is it for a day or 2? You know, so it's unspecified. It's just for the weekend. Last year, I traveled for 3 weeks. They have not told us exactly what point of last year. It is just last year. Was it in January? Was it in February? They have not specified. So the period of time is last year. I am traveling for 3 weeks. They have also not given us the specific time of travel in terms of the month. When is he beginning to travel is the real question we have. That is our concern. There is no specific time this person will be traveling. I am traveling. The person has not told us, is he traveling in January, in December, when exactly it is unspecified. So when you look at this in brackets, I have said the first sentence is in the present tense. The second one, traveled, is in the past tense. The third one is present continuous. We have said all these statements can take in four, or four can be used in the present, in the future, and in the past tense. That's what we are saying today here. So most of us were confusing them. Okay, that is true. People are giving here. Someone who is telling me to put the previous slide. I've already shared this work in your Google Classroom. So I'm just trying to catch up with the time. Let me see for those maybe who have not seen. Let me see. Okay, if you have any questions, maybe you can ask at this point. Those with questions, if your hand is up and you don't have a question, please lower your hand. I don't want to pick you and then you tell me my hand was up accidentally. Okay, Chimera, your hand is up. Okay, Chimera is also good. Adikini, is your hand up intentionally or accidentally?
Teacher, I wanted to say that you made a mistake somewhere in this sentence, whereby you wrote I with a small letter.
No, which one is that?
The last one.
Next year I will travel.
Yes.
Oh, the I here is a pronoun. Yes, it's a pronoun that is representing somebody. Okay, thank you so much. This is for human being.
And you didn't put here, you just said I will travel for 3
weeks.
Okay.
There's 3 weeks. Okay, thank you so much for that. Kemigisha, your hand is up. Kemigisha? Taremua or Kemigisha, one of you? Okay, those are being cheeky, and I don't really have time for cheeky people. Ruth Namakura.
Yeah, for me, I have a question on,
Please.
yes, when we have seen that in the first sentence it's present tense,
Your network.
Second, it's past tense. In the third, it's future. It's present continuous. Since is appear or should be given in the tense of present perfect.
I beg your pardon. Your network is cutting.
Does it mean that when we are giving our answer for when we got to the next slide talking about since, the sentences are supposed to be given in the present perfect tense or past perfect tense?
You will realize eventually, I have a quotation there. Let's just be patient. I have a specification for since. Are we together? You realize since is only talking about things in the past, but also things in the present perfect. Those that have happened already. Are we together?
Yes.
Those that have just happened. So there is an element of pastness in it. So let us wait for that slide. Here, I wanted us to be at par. That when we are talking about undefined time, when you say I am here for the weekend, it is not specific which weekend you're here for. They have not told us which exact weekend. So the time here is not mentioned. The person has not told you if it is this weekend or the next weekend or any other weekend. That's what I'm trying to put across here. That here the specification has not been mentioned of which weekend the person is here for. Is here for all the weekends or just a certain weekend? So it has not been mentioned. So even us, when we are constructing our sentences, which we are going to try before I leave here, we are going to construct sentences in the present tense, in the past tense, and in the future tense using for without specifically or following the rule that we do not specify on, or for is used to express time that is undefined. That is what I want us to contribute. So I am waiting for answers along that line in any tense. Let it be present, let it be past, let it be future. Those are the answers I am waiting for now. Okay, the last sentence here is supposed to be next year I will travel for 3 weeks. Next year I will travel for 3 weeks. The future, the element that shows that this sentence is in the future is this last bit here, will. This is what indicates the futureness of this. And then the past, or rather present, the present nature or the presentness or the continuity of this sentence is in travel, or rather traveling. And then the present tense here is indicated by the verb to be am. So that is, so I want us to give sentences that can help us to use for to indicate undefined times by show of hands. By show of hands. Swabra. Swabra. Okay.
Teacher. Good morning,
yes.
teacher.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I would like to ask, why is it when I go to classroom, I don't, they say that there is a problem. I don't know why.
What do you mean? But you have the links.
I have the links, but when I tap on to do the work, there I cannot do it because it says that there is a problem.
With the work or with your phone?
I don't know, because last time when I was doing my assignment, there where I tapped to answer the work, it came, but this time around it didn't.
Okay, there are different types of assignments. Are we together?
Yes.
We have Google, we have those that are just, we have quiz, we have those that are in Google Forms and Google Docs, and then we have essay type. So which one is refusing?
Classwork.
Like you cannot copy notes or you cannot attempt the assignment?
I cannot attempt them.
Okay, I guess at the end of this lesson, there will be someone to explain. Let us first finish our lesson.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Chimeda? I want examples of now correct sentences after getting to know. Yes.
Is this sentence correct that I have eaten for 15 years? I have eaten food since I was born.
We are dealing with for. Let us first begin with for, knowing that it's not for a specific period of time.
I have eaten food for 15 years.
But 15 years is defined time. But instead, if you told us that you have eaten food for a long time, or I have eaten food since I was born. Now, we do not know when you were born. Are we together?
Yes.
But if you tell me that you've eaten food for 15 years, I can be able to know that this is how long you have eaten food. So here, but for us, we want to show that for is used to show, or it is a preposition used in a sentence to show undefined amount of time or period of time.
I have eaten food for a long time.
Yes, thank you so much. That would be correct. Okay, next person, Adikini. 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 Okay, it seems she has run away. Viking.
I will travel to Budapest for a month.
I will travel to Budapest for a month. That is undefined. We do not know when you will travel, exactly which month or which period of, when you will start the journey. That is very good. That is a nice one. Joy Janet.
I have stayed with my aunt for ages.
Have have stayed with my aunt for ages. That is okay. That is in the past tense. Also, the time is undefined. Thank you for giving us. I want now someone to give us in future tense. Or someone has that given us. I want now the present simple tense or present continuous. Ski journey.
Mary will be playing for 2 hours.
Mary will be playing for 2 hours. You've not told us when she will be playing. So that is very true. Thank you so much. Jacqueline.
I'm traveling for a vacation.
I'm traveling for a vacation. Thank you. Undefined time. So I want us to know that whatever we are doing now, we are trying to apply correctly the use of for to talk about time, a preposition. In a sentence, we are told that a preposition is put before. By meaning of preposition, a word put before another or something put before another. So here in sentence construction, prepositions help us to construct grammatically correct sentences. And for this point, we are using them to indicate a period of time. Someone defined for us prepositions that they are put before a noun to define or to give us a specification in terms of distance, direction, time, position, all those were hinted on. So even as I want us to master this, that is how we apply correctly. Otherwise, most times we miss out grammatically. Someone says, George says here, I am waiting. Maybe I have been waiting. George, grammatically it would be, I have been waiting for 4 hours. Now, you have not told us the period of time when you, or for example, when you started waiting. That's what we are saying. Mary will visit us for 2 weeks. 2 years. You have not told us when she will come. So that is what we are trying to mean here. So thank you so much. Let us go to the next aspect here. Let us go to the next aspect. The use of since. Someone had already mentioned it, that since is used to refer to a particular point in time or event in the past. It is used to refer to a particular point in time or event in the past, strictly in the past. It is normally used in the present perfect and past perfect tense. What do you know about present perfect tense? What is the formation? How do you come up to what makes a sentence present perfect? Yes, anyone who can tell us what makes a sentence present perfect? Melody, what makes a sentence present perfect?
I think when it has have or has.
Has or
Have.
okay, plus there is a combination.
Being.
I beg your pardon? Present perfect. You've given us part of it. Who can add us? Thank you, Melody. Who can add us the next part? What makes a sentence present perfect? Resty?
Has been or have been.
Now that is now, had been is now past perfect.
Has
Melody
been.
had already, has been plus.
Have been.
No, there's something missing there. Tessa? Tessa?
I think it has have been or has been and a verb in ending with ing.
ing, that would now make it present. I don't even know which combination that is. No, that is not true. There's something missing. The verb should be in which tense? Dalton.
It has to be have been and has been with the verb in its continuous form.
Really? Present perfect. Okay. Last person, Blessing. Blessing. Yes, Blessing. Muchiri.
The verb has to be it has to have has been or have been the verb in the past tense.
The verb is in the past participle. The verb is in the past participle. Anyway, when you read senior 2, we shall be able to look at the transition of passive and active voice. We shall be able to look at some of those changes. So the reason we are qualifying the statement, I mean, that we can use it in the present perfect is because we shall have the combination, the verb here will also be in the past perfect, just like this other one, past perfect tense. Here also the verb is in the past. So that's why we are saying that anything that when we are dealing with since, we shall only and only be dealing with things that happened at a particular point in time, but in the, yes, Elizabeth had it correct. It has to be in the past participle. That is very true. So that is okay. Blessing, your network is a problem. We understand. So when we're dealing with since, you should only be looking at things that have happened in the past. That is what we are saying, either in the present perfect tense or in the past perfect tense. Those are the two tenses that can take the use of since. It is never used to talk about things in the future because it refers to specific point in time, and in the future we can never be sure, so sure. Yes, you may say someone will come maybe tomorrow in the afternoon or tomorrow at 1, but anything can happen. But here we are dealing with things that have already happened so there is that specification of occurrence in the past. So that's how we use the past tense. I have an example here. It has been raining since 8 o'clock in the morning. So for you people who are seeing this, Which tense is this one? The very first sentence is in which tense? Chirabo? Chirabo, which tense is that?
It's the present tense, present continuous.
Okay, so we are dealing with that here, that it has been raining since morning. The perfectness of it is here. It has been. So the activity, we are talking about the specification that it started raining in the morning at 8:00. So that time is specific. I have been walking since 8:00. He had been waiting. He had been waiting since morning when the doctor came in. So these ones, we are dealing with things that happened at a specific point in the past. When did he start waiting? That was in the morning. When did it start raining? At 8. When did he start walking? 8. So a specific period of time. So when someone says, I have been cooking since 7 p.m., I have been cooking for 6 hours. That is how we apply them in our day-to-day life. Please let's not confuse them, because eventually a person who is grammatically alert will penalize us. Erin? Some people's hands are just up naturally. Yes, Mary Angel. Is that Vani? Vani? Okay, some people's hands are up naturally. Please, if your hand is not up for a reason, lower it. You're confusing me, because each time I feel like you have a question, then I have to come back. Diana? Diana, your hand is up.
Teacher?
Yes.
I was asking, what if you say that?
You are asking.
Yeah. Okay, what if you say, like, I started cooking 3 hours ago? Will that make a correct sentence of using since?
I started
cooking 3 hours ago.
And now where is since in that sentence?
I was just trying to imply if it can bring out that correct sentence.
Spoken wise you are, but today we are dealing with the use of for and since, to indicate time. So whatever examples we give should contain since and for.
Okay.
All right. Next person. Muchiri.
Teacher, I cannot see.
Muchiri.
Teacher, I cannot see your screen.
Are you sure? Is maybe check it with another person. Chimera, can you see my screen? Chimera?
Yes, please.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, so I think Muchivi, you have issues with network. Find a way to re-log in. It could just be a simple mistake error. Okay, Chimera, your hand is up. You want to say something?
He had been waiting for the doctor since morning.
I have been waiting for the doctor, or I had been waiting for the doctor since morning. So that's what we are saying here. When we are dealing with our topic of food, when you're trying to tell us, if you want to tell us specifically how long you have cooked, or when you started cooking, you apply since. If you're just indicating time without specification, you use for. Are we together? For example, I will be cooking for 3 hours. So you have not told us when you will start cooking. And yet if someone says, I have been cooking since 8 o'clock. It means someone is still cooking, but they started cooking at 8. So those are the simple specifications we can share. Okay. Another person to try, Elijah and Blessing. Elijah and Blessing.
Teacher,
Yes.
I have been washing since morning.
I have been washing since morning. The specification is the period of morning is a period of time, you know, so we can know that you have been cooking for, you've been washing for that period of time. Thank you. You can mute, and then I choose Rita. Yes, Rita.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
It is now 6 months since I last saw my father.
Okay, that is a touching one and very true as well. It has been 6 months since she saw her father. That is very correct. Thank you. Any other person? Angel? Yes, Angel. Okay. Maybe her network. Olega. Isaac. Olega Isaac. It seems Olega's network is a problem. Imase. Sylvia. Imase Sylvia. Network. Okay. So just to expand our discussion, I want us to which other prepositions of time have you met? Because now that is how you're going to learn to expand your discussion. Which other prepositions? Okay, she has been mopping since 6 a.m. That is true. If someone is asking here a question, when are Zoom lessons ending? I don't know. You want to give us another program? Maybe we shall attend to that later. Let me see which other questions can I answer here. It has been 2 years since I last saw my brother. That is correct. Blessings. Chidabo, you can type your question here. I will definitely answer. Thanks, teacher. Teacher, I have a question. You simply ask the question, Chidabo, we shall be able to answer you. I have stayed in Kenya since 2005. Okay, since 2005. Okay. But now I'm asking which other prepositions of time do we know that we can use? For example, if someone told you the use of in time and on time, those are other prepositions of time. So you can do a little research on them, then you share with us. It's very important. Chirabo, for example, can you give an example when we are using shall? Shall and will are for future tense. That is okay. So it depends on your sentence structure. So you give an example, then we see, and we can be able to help you. So other we have at, we have in, we have on. It has been 2 years since I went to school, or since I saw my teacher. Yes, so I'm asking you now, do research on the different parts, different prepositions of time. They can also be able to help us. So I have here a simple exercise. This one should be I have not. I'm going to share that exercise in our group, and we shall be able to discuss them. So as a class, I want us to maybe at this point we can ask questions, and I'll be able to. Elizabeth, you have a question?
Excuse me, teacher. Okay, this question has been bugging me. The thing is that when we are using for, and also when we have used since, I've been seeing when you're making sentences using will. So as I'm trying to inquire, can't you use shall?
For example,
we shall bake the cake for 3 hours.
Now, usually, what is the debate around shall in grammar?
I don't know.
Now, that is the thing. But there is no problem. First of all, that's what I will tell you, that shall is also an indicator of the future. For example, when someone says, I shall sing for you tomorrow. Are we together?
Yes.
There is no problem. It is grammatically correct. However, there is a simple debate there between shall and will, and I'm going to make for you a simple, maybe that's where we can begin with next time, and we look at the slight difference, or why do we prefer using will to shall? Will is usually of you're more certain. I will see you tomorrow. Shall expresses a little bit of uncertainty, just a little bit. I shall see. So, however, so that is the simple debate. So most times will shows more certainty than shall. That is the simple debate I know. And that's why most people prefer to use will.
Yes. Thank you, teacher, very much.
You're welcome. Zenazak, this person, last time you were new. I hope now you are coping up with the classes.
Yes, sir.
You have a question?
So I was busy that sent me outside, but
I beg your pardon?
Like they had sent me outside. If you can help me send the work, the previous one.
No, that work is in your Google Classroom.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So that is what we had for today. The other thing I wanted you to also to do a little research on the use of much and more. Who can I give that work to do for us? Then next time they come and give us in the beginning of our lesson to at least tell us 2 or 3 things about much and more. Who can do that for us? I'm going to choose Chirabo and then